Hello, everybody. So yes, it's my day off. That's why I'm not dressed up. So I said in a video recently, one of my MGTOW videos recently, that I was working on a deductive argument for finding the right mate. So first of all, I would like to explain how deductive arguments work. So I'll bring up this other whiteboard here that I happen to have hidden, which you can kind of see, I guess. So yeah, so basically the nature of deductive arguments are there's two or three premises, usually just two or three, and then a conclusion. Basically the way deductive arguments work is if both premises are true, or if all the premises are true, usually there's only two, then the conclusion is unavoidable, is logically unavoidable. So it has to be true. So, premise one, premise two. So the only way to defeat a deductive argument is to find fault with one of the premises up here. So uh, you have to find some sort of error in one of the premises in order to attack the argument. Otherwise, it's unavoidably true. So that's the way deductive arguments work. So, turning over to the other whiteboard. So, most people will agree that thoughts become things. In order to do something, you must first rationalize it in your head. You have to believe it's okay. All criminals rationalize their crimes before they can actually commit them. Uh, so, and a thought is a prerequisite to an action. You can't actually act until you've thought about acting and rationalize it. So, both those things. So, it is my assertion that it is a requirement. Let's say one of the most important things for you is fidelity, like finding someone who won't cheat on you, which is usually very high near the top for most people in finding a mate. So, how do you find someone who's who's least likely to cheat on you out of all people? So, this would be a person who believes not only believes it's wrong to cheat, but also believes it's wrong to have lust for other people. So there are people out there, you MGTOW guys out there, probably are thinking there's no such woman that exists like that. Well, it's because they have just horrible selection of women, and so they surround themselves with these women that don't you know that don't represent all women, but they think they represent all women because of all the women they know. Um, anyway, there are women who exist who were raised, let's say, with certain religious beliefs to believe that even having lust for someone is committing adultery. So let's say someone was raised to believe that. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean they're never going to have lust in their heart. In fact, the whole point, let's say, if you're talking about Christianity, for example, the whole point is we've all done it. We've all done these things. We all fall short and we need help. That's basically the whole point of Christianity. So if you're thinking, oh, well, Christians aren't necessarily, they're usually hypocrites. Well, yes, that's kind of the whole point. Yes, all Christians are hypocrites. So that's kind of the whole point of the religion. Anyway, so, and I'm not necessarily saying that a Christian woman is more trustworthy. I'm not saying that at all. I've met atheists that believe something very similar to this. That you should control your desires by controlling your thoughts. So, because they understand, they have the basic psychological understanding that thoughts become things and rationalization is required before you can act. So, let's say hypothetically you have the choice between two women, two equal women in looks and other attractive qualities. Let's say one was raised to believe that looking upon a man with lust is adultery, and you should try not to do that. They believe it's wrong to do that, and that's what leads to sexual sins like cheating on your spouse, things like that. Versus someone who is raised to believe like that's all that matters in life is finding the next guy, that next cute guy in the room, and who you're gonna sleep with next, and things like that. Like that's their whole life. Now, between those two people, who's more likely to cheat on you? I think most reasonable people would say the second one is more likely to cheat on you. In fact, those type of people are almost guaranteed to cheat on you. If their whole life is almost every thought they have is preoccupied with dating, relationships, and sex, they're almost guaranteed to cheat on you. I mean, it's just that's their whole life. So their thoughts are preoccupied with romance. They're not preoccupied with valuable things, but just the one aspect of life of romance. Anyway, so here's a what I think is a deductive argument. I keep getting phone calls from these people. Dang it! I should have answered that. Anyway, so I'm being lazy today, guys. I'm neglecting people. So premise 1, thoughts become things. Premise 2, thoughts of cheating are required before cheating can take place. Premise 3, rationalization of cheating is required before cheating can take place. 4, therefore, this is the conclusion. A person who believes thoughts of lust or cheating are wrong is a dramatically safer pick as a partner. I could have worded that better so I actually could read it when I read it back, but therefore, a person who believes thoughts of lust or cheating are wrong is a dramatically safer pick as a partner. That is the unavoidable conclusion. So, this doesn't mean you need to pick a Christian woman necessarily, because nowadays, especially nowadays, 90% of people who call themselves Christians don't even know what it means. They don't know probably couldn't tell you what it really means. A lot of people think it means being a good person, which actually is the complete opposite of what it means. So yeah, there's a lot of false teachings out there. I won't name names of certain sects that have way more false teachings than others. But yeah, let's not start that feud right now. But anyway, what I'm saying is, obviously, choosing a Christian girl is not the solution, because most of them nowadays aren't they don't actually know what it means to be a Christian. So obviously that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying at least having someone who agrees with you on these things. A woman, let's say, who agrees with you on these things, rather than, oh, like, whatever, that's stupid. That's, controlling my thoughts. That's not any kind of way I want to live. That type of person is probably going to cheat on you. So, and this is what I mean, MGTOW guys. Why not find a nice girl? I understand when you're younger, the nice girls are kind of boring, but when you're older, you really need to find one when you settle down. I'm kind of guilty of it myself. I choose the bad girls sometimes, but I'm to an age now where I have no interest in bad girls. I am sexually attracted to them, but I don't want anything to do with them beyond that. So there's girls that I would really like, but I would never want to marry in a million years. So anyway, but yeah, guys, find a woman who isn't sex crazed, isn't obsessed with men, isn't constantly talking about guys and sex, and who pay attention to her girlfriends too, because women especially do not tolerate any kind of differing opinions amongst each other. It's kind of like it's a survival thing that women kind of developed. When they're in groups, they want everyone to agree with each other. So pay attention to their friends. If she or most of her friends are kind of slutty, and and she isn't necessarily, she's more innocent, give it time. They'll turn her into them. And that, you get a really good judge of a woman's character is like looking at her friends. If her favorite show is Sex and the City, probably not your best pick as a mate, MGTOW guys. So, think about this kind of stuff. I'm serious. And some women out there who There's some woman out there right now who watches Sex in the City that's probably offended by what I'm saying, because most people aren't honest. Most people aren't honest with themselves and actually examine their own shortcomings. Okay, so yeah, guys, there's some of my thoughts to finding a decent person. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of response to this. And this actually, I just now wrote this out, so I haven't even really thought it through that much. So you probably will. You might find some errors. I don't know. Let me know. But I think the general idea is true. So, yeah, thanks for watching.